listening to Tapped In, Buncombe County's half hour to empower on WRES 100.7 FM in Asheville. Listen up and get tapped into local important resources, information, and topics. Okay, it's time to get tapped in.
Hello, hello, hello. And if you hear my voice, you know it's time to get, I don't have anything, tapped in. I'm one of your hosts, ZaKiya Rogers.
And I'm Leonard Jones.
And Leonard and I come to you from Communications and Public Engagement Department of Buncombe County. We're heroes, we're capes. Leonard, who do we have with us today?
Well, today we have Phillip Hardin, Economic Services Director for Buncombe County's Health and Human Services. He is here to share some information around Buncombe County's Homeowner Grant Program. And so thanks for being here today, Phillip. Can you tell us, listeners, a little bit about yourself?
Thanks. I've worked for Buncombe County twice now.
All right.
I started in 1989.
Oh, wow.
In Buncombe County and worked in Buncombe County until 1994, and I came back in 2013. But I've worked in social services for about 36 years now.
Oh, wow. So are you retiring soon?
I can.
Wow.
I still enjoy what I do.
You still enjoy working? I want to be like you when I grow up. That's the one Buncombe way. Well,
They call that there's just one day.
The one day.
One of these days.
One of these days,
It's
I'm
going to be too
retire.
much.
Well, the last time we had you on here, I think was 2022. And it was about the homeowner grant. And so we want to update folks and remind them, hey, it's still here. So what is going on this year? We have opened up our Buncombe County Homeowners Grant Program. So give us some information. What is this about?
Okay, the homeowner grant came about during the last property reevaluation. As you know, property taxes and home prices continued to escalate. The county established the homeowner grant, and it truly is a homeowner grant because it's not necessarily a property tax exclusion or such. We can help offset some of the property taxes with a homeowner grant, but we could also offset mortgage expenses or property insurance. So it truly is a homeowner grant. It's not a property tax program. As I said, it came back about in 2021, and so I think this is our fifth year. And there's been a few changes with the homeowner grant over the years, but not too many since that first year. It's kind of stayed fairly steady. We opened applications up on July the 15th. And we will take applications through September the 30th of this year.
So how many people do you think have applied already?
So far, we have about 600 to 650 applications we've taken so far. It's kind of funny, this year it seemed like the first 3 or 4 days we took about 250 applications, and it's leveled off tremendously since then. So it's good timing for me to talk about that program. We'll make sure that everybody who is possibly eligible can apply before the end of September.
So I just had a follow-up question around that. So if someone was awarded these homeowner grants, as we mentioned here, since it started back in 22, each year they must reapply. Is that correct?
That would be correct.
Okay.
And you can get the grant if you've gotten it the year before.
That is correct.
Okay, yeah.
The only exclusion is if you receive a state tax exemption, such as the most popular ones for that are elderly disabled, the veterans exemption. Those seem to be the most popular. You would not be eligible for the homeowner grant through Buncombe County because you've already received that tax exemption.
Okay.
Okay. So, what are the qualifications for this grant?
They're fairly simple.
Yeah.
There's only 5 or 6 different things that really are policy-wise. You have to be under 80% of the area median income. And say, I'll give you an example that for a family of 4, that's about $76,000 For one individual, I think it's 52,000, 53,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. You can't have liquid resources more than $60,000. Now, liquid resources would be things you could convert to cash within 7 days. So it would really only be things like checking accounts, savings accounts, cash on hand. And that's really about it. We don't look at things like property or stocks or things like that. It has to be able to be converted within 7 days.
Okay.
So like if you had like gold coins, those would be liquid, considered liquid, or no? Because you could sell them, but
you could probably not within 7 days.
Yeah.
Not for what they're worth.
Yeah.
You can go to the pawn shop, but
You're really probably looking at, like I said, checking, savings, cash on hand, and that's it. You have to have lived in your home for 5 years, and obviously be a Buncombe County resident. And so there's some other minor policies. You have to live in the home that you're applying for.
Okay.
And so
it can't be a secondary.
It can't be like multiple properties. That you applied for one or not the other.
So what about mobile homes?
Mobile homes would qualify.
They would qualify
because you pay taxes on that mobile home. So yes, they do qualify.
Yeah, because you always hear those myths around mobile homes. They're not tax the same. They're seen as vehicles, and because they have wheels on it and things like that. And so that's great to clear that up. That that you can, if you have a mobile home, you can apply for these services.
Correct.
And is there an age limit or anything of that nature?
There is not.
Okay.
The one thing that we found over the years of doing this, that a lot of people that we served with a homeowner grant were probably eligible for, say, the elderly disabled tax exemption, and we've been able to refer them to the tax department to apply for that each year.
Okay.
And I think we've added a lot of people to the rolls of those state tax exemptions. So it's been that's a good plus for the homeowner grant, because people ask about those things, and as you talk to them, you find out, well, you're probably eligible for this other exemption. It might help you even more.
I know it's one of those things, if you never ask, you never know. So it's good to just kind of seek out these opportunities and allow the organization to tell you no. I think a lot of times, a lot of people just get in their head, I don't qualify, hear 80% annual AMI, and they mind just turn off. But so we just really want to clear a lot of those misconceptions. So my next question would be, how much assistance is each approved applicant eligible for?
If you live in Buncombe County, you're eligible for up to, and that would be within all of Buncombe County, $300.
Okay.
The city of Asheville does participate in the homeowner grant. And so if you live in the city of Asheville, you could be eligible for up to another $200, so $500. In the first couple of years we ran the program, Woodfin did participate, but they've not participated in the last 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
So it would just be city of Asheville or Buncombe.
Okay. That's good to know. It's just one of those things, $300 to $500, every little bit counts. So we just really want the listeners to be aware of these resources that's available to them.
Now, how do you apply? What is the process?
There's a couple of different ways that you can apply. The easiest way is to go onto the Buncombe County website, and you can apply there. It's about 5 questions, and it will somewhat screen you depending on what your answers are. And it may say that you're possibly not eligible, but we also have a disclaimer on there to say to call us, because we might be able to work through that. So you can apply that way. You can apply over the phone. You can call 250-5 5500 and say you want to apply for the homeowner grant. And what happens is we put folks on a list, and our caseworkers will then call them back. So those are the two easiest ways to apply. If you can come into our office at 40 Cox Avenue and apply that way if you want to also.
And there is parking available right there. You can park in the parking deck and they will validate your parking sticker. So you don't have to pay for parking. So, and make sure you park in the parking deck and not the parking lot in front. Excuse me. And so,
So the next question would be, we figured out how different ways you can apply. So you can do online, phone, or in person. The next question we also know is eligible from $300 to $500. But the next question is, what can this grant money be used for? Is there any limitations on what, or is it, do it have to be directly made? I guess there's several questions. First question is, what can this money be eligible for?
Those are good questions. In essence, you can use it to offset your property taxes. I don't know. It's up to $300. So if your property taxes happen to be less than $300, then you would get that amount.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that we've had anybody over 5 years who had property taxes that are less than $300.
oh, that would be nice.
What property is that?
They must have a shoebox with windows.
So, they can be used to offset property tax. They can be offset or help pay for your mortgage
Oh, wow.
or for your homeowner's insurance. And those payments are made directly to the tax department or to your mortgage or to your insurance company.
So I have a question. You said your homeowner insurance, your taxes, and your mortgage. So what are some of the biggest areas that you've seen the need this year and possibly last year? Where have you seen the largest need of assistance?
As far as
the homeowner grant.
if you look back at the statistics about what people use the homeowner grant for over a 5-year period, about 70% of the people use for property taxes, and the other 30% use it for homeowners insurance or mortgage.
Okay.
And we've had a couple of outliers, that we may have, if none of those might have not applied, then we might have done something else. But we like to stay to those three.
Okay. So the next question around, so in case the listeners just tuning in, we talked about the Homeowner Grant Program of Buncombe County. And we just want to know, again, what's the enrollment period, time frame has been, if you can just share that with the listeners.
Right. It's we opened applications on July the 15th of this year, and we will close applications on September the 30th at midnight on September 30th. They'll take it off the website. So, like I said, I think we've taken about 625 applications so far. Those numbers have gone down year after year. So I think it's important for people to understand. Just apply.
Just apply.
Well, you probably have helped so many people, because you were talking about the Disability and Veterans Act. So you probably have so many people who didn't know they qualified for that and have been able to get those services. So more slots have opened up for other folks. So yeah, please apply. We've all heard no before, and we've all heard yes before. So, and get that definite answer and go apply.
And I know personally in my family, someone took the advantage of this opportunity, and just as you mentioned, they did find out they qualified for the elderly kind of reduced rate to their property taxes. So it does work. A lot of times people wonder who gets these funds. And I know personally from people, I always tell everybody, especially in my family as well as the community, just apply and figure out this opportunity that's being presented to you. So another question, that people from the community often wonder is, how is this program funded?
Is funded through the county commissioners, through the budget process every year. So these are county dollars that help fund this program. The city of Asheville appropriates money for their share of that also.
Okay. Have y'all noticed another trend with the city of Asheville and Buncombe County? Have you noticed more within the city, or do y'all know just some of the low geographically within the county where you see?
It's probably about 50-50.
50-50?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's split. But if you look back over the years, it's kind of funny. Last year we took only about 600 applications through September the 27th.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Helene came through.
Yeah.
And so everything was down for the last 3 days. So we ended up opening the homeowner grant up for applications again in November.
Okay.
Because people didn't have those last 3 days of September. And we took almost as many applications that week that we opened it back up that we did the entire 3 months prior to the storm.
Yeah.
So I really thought that this year we would have a lot more applications, but I've been a little bit surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm wondering how, because I know taxes were still due even though Helene hit. I'm wondering now because of the decisions that have been made after Helene, how that has affected taxes and things of that nature.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just one of those things I think a lot of times for the listeners, it's just, and just like being on the radio, it's just another way of getting the information back out of there. I know in the immediate aftermath of Helene, a lot of people was dealing with, just employment slowed down and stuff like that. So it's a need. So, I mean, again, as we say, that's why we're on the radio to encourage people to get back out there and apply for those grants and those opportunities that's out there. So what else besides the homeowner grant? What are some of the other programs within the economic services that our listeners can learn about?
We are still running our major programs, which would be food assistance,
Okay.
And Medicaid. It seems like every time there's a pandemic or a storm or whatever, our need for services increases tremendously. We ran a disaster food assistance program after the storm last year, and we took 16,000 applications in 8 days and served about 41,000 people.
Wow.
We're, busily trying to decipher what's going on at a federal level with those programs. We know that there'll be changes over the next year or so.
Okay. Have there currently been any changes, or everything still as they were?
Everything is still the same.
Okay.
So we're still, processing, and the rules are still the same.
Okay.
But things will change over the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Probably you won't see any real change until October, December of next year.
Next year? Okay.
Yeah. So, those major programs, we did run a disaster energy program, and we distributed about $2.4 million through that. We do have an energy program up and running right now. A little less money than we had last year, but it is up and running. We're still running our major programs, and Medicaid, with the Medicaid expansion, we have added right at 17,000 new Medicaid recipients since Medicaid expansion went into place in December of 2023.
Okay.
Because it makes it much easier for people to apply for Medicaid, especially adults. There were a lot of adults who weren't covered, who may qualify now.
Okay.
So if I can't say anything, I say, if you don't think you're eligible for Medicaid, check into it.
Yeah.
Because, the rules have changed tremendously, and a lot more people are eligible for Medicaid than used to be.
Okay. And that's good information to know, because, of course, listening to the media and all the changes, and of course things get approved, like with legislation, sometimes it takes a while for them to go in effect. So we just want to put information out there, as we say, just along with the homeowner grant, as well as these other programs that Phil Hardin has been able to share with us today, is just apply. We done gave you the numbers around 828-250-5500 if you have questions and how some of the resources around economic services can help you.
And probably if you want to apply for Medicaid or food assistance, you can do that online also. The state has an online portal.
Yeah.
It's called ePass.
Okay.
And it's epass.nc.gov, and you can apply for the energy program, you can apply for food assistance, or you can apply for Medicaid there. And I will tell you, we take probably over 80% of our applications online.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Well, I think that's great, and how, what we've been learning with all these pandemics and storms and things of that nature, is that people are still having to live and work and do things, but they're still needing services. And meeting folks where they are and having the online process is great, because it allows folks to continue to work, but also be flexible enough to get the things done that they need. I know that's one of the issues that I saw a lot, when moms and dads have to leave work and miss a full day sometimes to go get services for light assistance and food. And with this online service, this is so great. I'm so glad to see that our county is moving towards more ways to receive information and apply.
Are there certain documents that residents need if they're thinking about applying for services?
It's helpful if you're working to have pay stubs. We don't really need a lot anymore, because we can verify a lot of things online.
Oh, yeah.
So we match with multiple systems. And when you apply online, it does that automatically. And so a lot of things that we may ask for if you walked in person, we wouldn't have to ask for if you applied online, because the system's already done that.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of rhetoric. ZaKiya, I really appreciate you saying that. A lot of rhetoric around the programs we administer. And if you look at, like, say, food assistance, 70% of the people who receive food assistance have earned income. The other 30% are either elderly disabled or children.
Yes.
And so, you're correct. A lot of people, struggle. I mean, they have full-time jobs, but they're still struggling.
Yeah, cost of living and food and all those things. I mean, there's so many things on the scale that keeps it unbalanced. And so, yes, those extra services are needed to close those gaps. And I'm so thankful that our county does everything they can to make sure. We're almost time to wrap up, but I want to give you time to say something that you feel is very important, that you want to get out to the community.
I can't stress enough, call us or come visit us or apply online. Doesn't hurt. Nothing, the services we have, we're trying to serve residents of Buncombe County. I have wonderful staff, and I think the one thing we probably do better than any county in this state is provide outstanding customer service. Our staff really care about the people we serve, and they come to this work with a lot of care and compassion. And so, please reach out to us. There's multiple ways. We work real hard if somebody's got a unique situation to try to find a funding source. And if we're not able to help them, we'll refer them to another community organization.
And I'll just close up, as I always do, just kind of give you the resources and ways to get in touch. As we heard, there's several ways to apply. So that's online, through the phone, in person, and also just when you go online, you always can go to buncombenc.gov. We do have a new web address, and so we just want to continue to push that out, buncombenc.gov. We've been talking about the homeowner grant, so if there's something particular that you're interested in, so that's just buncombenc.gov /homeowner grant. And that'll give you the opportunity to get up to $300 and possibly up to $500 if you're in the city of Asheville around homeowner grant assistance. And as we say, you always can visit the Economic Services at the Health and Human Service Building at 40 Cox Avenue in downtown Asheville. And you always can call 828-250-5500. And again, the homeowner grant has been open since July 15th. It runs. Applications will be accepted up to September the 30th, 2025. So if you know someone or even yourself that can possibly qualify, as we say, please just call. They can potentially connect you with other resources, as Phillip Hardin has shared with us today, to potentially help you. As we say, these resources are there to fill in the gaps and help sustain people as they navigate everyday life and challenges that we face economically.
All right. Well, we want to thank Phil Hardin for coming and spending this half hour with us. It's always so great to see you and hear from you and see what the department is doing. If you, as Leonard has said, I just want to reiterate that please don't let your fear or pride get in the way of receiving services. We have gone through too much as a community, as a county, as a people here, that we need to receive all the help that we can, because there is someone who can help. Sometimes the biggest step is just asking and just inquiring. And since we provided the information, all you gotta do now is call those numbers or log on and get the help that you need. And maybe if you may not need the help, but if you know someone else who does, please be part of the vine where you pass that information to other people. We thank you so much, and we hope that you enjoyed our show. But until then, you've been tapped in.
Thank you for listening to Tapped In, Buncombe County's half hour to empower, here on WRES 100.7 FM in Nashville. Stay tuned for more great episodes coming up.